What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gab about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. I'm your host, Nathan, Mr. 9 out of 9 Norman, joined by the second best podcaster in the world, Daniel, the Big Daddy Reeby.
Oh, Nathan, Milton, Norman, how fantastic to be here with you all. And as one of my great friends, John Denver, once said, take me home, country road, take me home down the old country road. And I just feel like that's where we're meant to be, down in Waverley, out at Hawthorn there, you know, back in the finals, right back where we belong, down country road. And, geez, didn't they play well on the weekend, the Hawks? And, well, I'm so excited and can't wait to rip into it.
Very well, very well. He's all hat, no cowboy. It's Ryan Wheels Fenton.
G'day, fellas. How we going?
We're good.
Very well, thank you. Great to see you.
I'm just surprised we haven't mentioned that Daniel won the tipping comp yet. I'm a bit shocked at the moment. I thought that might be his introduction. But
well, he didn't want to bring it up. He can bring it up whenever he wants. I brought it up all the time when I won. So,
just firstly, condolences to the doggy listeners out there and the Carlton listeners too. For you guys, sorry about the season, but better luck next year.
Condolences for the doggy supporters and listeners. That's it.
I feel worse for the Blues supporters. I mean, you know, they spent most of the year in the top couple there, and you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I know a lot of people that really don't like the Blues, and it's rubbed off on me. So I just don't like the Blues for some reason.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the game later, but the big banana peel, Nathan.
The big banana peel.
The big Donkey Kong.
Also joining us. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. He's the man of steel. Steelo.
How you going, mate? How you going, lads?
Yeah.
Mate,
Not too bad.
Oh, mate, what a week of footy. We're deep in September now. It's the way to do it. 10 weeks in.
Yeah. That's it.
Mate. We want the glory. I'm seeing pictures of Premiership Cups everywhere. You'll love to see it, mate. I'm just banging the holy grail, just listening to everything I can, just surrounding myself with as much footy as possible. Pre-season as well for me. So, you know, just trying to stay fit and just, getting in the vibe, mate. Melbourne, it's got the buzz about it at the moment, and it's the place to be. Queensland as well, I know.
Even though Brizzy aren't playing in Melbourne at all, but
Big Wheels has got a lot of footballers around him. That place is buzzing as well.
oh, good time in it, September.
I heard Melbourne's buzzing, but there's no games on there this weekend, isn't there?
Well, that's why I was a bit confused when he said Melbourne buzzing, and I thought,
it's because there's no games. We're buzzing because there's no games. We're like, where's the games? We're buzzing.
The AFLW might be on.
Yeah, it's been big too. Went to the footy on the weekend, and it's great to see the Saints up and about in the AFLW, and it's a big time in footy and it's Steelo, and I'm just gaffing at the bit just to get it this weekend. So,
all right. Well, before we get into last week's games, got a bit of a question for you. I want to hear who you want to win the final, who you think will win the final, and who you think will win the Brownlow. I want to start with you, Daniel.
You want to start with me?
Yes. Who do you think will win the grand final?
I have it between 4 teams at the moment.
Commit. Don't be a pussy. Commit.
No, look, I like
commit.
to leave the door
No, you can't leave the door open. Commit. Don't be a pussy.
Hey, look, if
Don't
you're
be a pussy.
making money, if you listen to me closely, you can make good money here because 4 teams gives you 2 winners this week because I put it down to the Giants, I put it down to Geelong, I put it down to Sydney, and I put it down to Hawthorn. So I just see those 4 teams being in a prelim, but I can't split who wins any of those games, and they're really all 50-50 in my eyes. So, you know, I mean, I'm going to throw a stab in the dark, and I'm going to go for Geelong because I want to have a good time on Granny Day. But
so is that who you think? So that's who you think's going to win. Who do you want to win? Is that the same?
That's how even I think it is. But those 4 teams, if you listen to me closely, you could make some good money this weekend. I think will be the prelim team. So I'll go with Geelong because of the evency and Chris Scott. I'm going to back the coach in this year. I'm not even going for a team. That's what they do in the NFL a bit. You follow a coach or a real good player. I might follow Chris Scott.
Follow him. All right, so, Daniel, is the team you think going to win the team you want to win as well?
Oh, I'd love him to win.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
But yeah, go the Cats. Can go the Cats.
Brownlow, who you got?
I mean, it's a tight one between Lockie Neal and Cripper. They say out there. Nick Dacos and Cripper. But I'm really liking Lockie Neal. I just feel like he's close enough to the pack. He's had such a good year that I'm going to go with the what they call the upset.
Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win? Oh, Lockie Neal. So I want him to win also. That's probably why I've backed him.
All right. So you have differentiated. Oh, cool.
I'd love to see him be a 3-time and witness a 3-time Brownlow medalist in my lifetime.
No, fair enough. Ryan.
Yeah, I reckon. I think Sydney's going to win it.
Yeah. Who do you want to?
Hey.
Who do you want to win it?
And I want the Giants to win it, just so they can win their first ever premiership.
What about the old handbaggers from down west?
Oh, we've won enough, mate. Share the love, mate.
All right, yeah, well, Brownlow.
That's a tricky one, man. That is so tricky. I was just trying to have a think then when I was looking at my phone. I reckon, you know what? I'm going to go a 4-way tie.
4-way tie. Fuck off.
I'm going to go Neil, Cripps, Bontempelli, and Dacos all together on the night.
What a year it would be.
Absolutely. And who do you want to get it?
Jeremy Cameron.
Best of luck. Steelo. Who do you think's going to win the flag this year?
Mate. Gotta go to Lions, mate. You gotta get up the Fitzroy and Brisbane Lions.
You truly think they're going to do it all?
They're like trick questions.
What are we doing here? You know, 4 points last year.
They are due.
And the only way to improve is to win it this year. I mean, God forbid we lose by less than 4 points. You won't see me. I'll be on the other side of the earth. I'll get as far away from footy as I can. No.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I'll be foundational, but I'll have to take a trip around the world.
Come up to Brisbane, mate.
There you go, the Goldie.
Come up to Brisbane after it.
Yeah, don't mind if I do.
Oh, there you go. All right, Brownlow, bro. Who you got?
I mean, Lockie Neal has got the nice tats now. He's got the eye-catching tats. So he's getting the extra bonus for him. But just a little nice tat. The umpires will like it. But yeah, Cripper's had a superb year, just like unbelievable. He always does carry the team, but the Blues going better and better, and he's just getting better himself. So it's hard to see him not polling really well.
It's going to be a tight race this year
And
between
then,
probably the
you've got-
4 of them, isn't it?
like-
The Bont, obviously Neil, and then you got Cripps and Dacos.
I think obviously you got Goulden as well, and then you got Horn Francis, both players that stand out at their clubs.
Surely Sydney will steal all off each other, don't they?
Yeah,
He's
Heaney gets a
definitely
lot of
one,
votes,
so,
which
yeah.
are dead.
Warner.
Freak. Like,
But then you got at Carlton as well. You got like Kerno and Walsh and that stealing votes off.
Have you still got
Anyway,
have you
this
still
is Steelo's answer.
has Heaney been suspended, right?
Yeah.
Heaney's out.
Yeah, he's out. He's going to poll a lot, though. He'll poll heaps. Yeah.
Early. He polls early and then he evens out.
Yeah, but I'll probably have to say Dacos, to be honest, because just if favoritism, if nothing else, you'll get a few extra votes here and there. Like, people will definitely be watching him and just happy to give him the votes. But no, he's just like superb talent as well. It's freakish.
He gets a lot of threes.
Yeah, but yeah. It's like three.
Who do you want to win it? Lucky?
Oh, 100%. Yes,
Yeah.
the 3P.
3P,
He's
baby.
getting better. He really focuses on his game, so he's getting stronger every year.
Yeah.
He just receives heaps of attention, but just playing through it this year, no worries at all.
No, fair enough.
I still couldn't believe if he wins 3 Brownlows though. Far out. That's incredible.
Oh, it does
Oh,
seem
good on him. Good on him.
Like-
About time someone did it.
Reeby, have you still got Zach Merritt as a little roughie, mate?
Well, you know what? He hasn't been chatted about a lot, has he? And he had a super consistent year right up to the end there. And they did win a lot of games, even though they didn't make the 8. They still won there about 11 games there, the Bombers. So, you know, you don't see him maybe winning it, but he could be in a sneaky for a top 5, maybe, while you're having a look through it. Because, yeah, he definitely had a solid year, and there wasn't a lot of Bombers probably taking votes off him, was there?
They couldn't even find a spot for him in the All-Australian side as well.
Yeah, but he was fringing, so which is also a good sign. But
Yeah,
it's a good little pickup there. Maybe just a sneaky if he's paying anywhere near $2 to make the top 5. Well,
And then
maybe
you've
we'll do some research. I'll have a look.
and then you've got Rick's roughie would be Lockie Whitfield, wouldn't it? He's been
Oh, yeah, I remember he brought that up a while ago. And again, he's had a super year. I mean, he could be another roughie for a top 5, Whitfield. Just for a bit of value if there was, you know, top 5 to top 10. Just don't see these guys winning it, though, due to the amount of games that I feel like the Cripses and the Dacosses and the Bontempellis do get the best on grounds. Like, they're really going to get up to the 30 votes again. So, you know, it's what makes it hard for the other blokes who've still had stellar years, but these blokes rack up that many BOGs, like clear BOGs. But yeah, it's going to be a good race. It will be very interesting landing in the Gold Coast that day. I must admit, I didn't realise that I'd pinned down Brownlow Day, but just getting so much more excited by the hour to be landing only a handful of hours before the Brownlow, and
beautiful.
I will be getting put straight to bed, and the Brownlow will be getting put on. And
Now you are taking your laptop and mic, aren't you?
oh, everything will be getting taken in accordance.
Okay, all right, very well.
So are we gonna be doing a live stream Brownlow night or not?
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
Oh, Brownlow, watch along.
Just no end bombs.
Jeez, here we go.
No TOS stuff.
Stillo, will you be following along from Melbourne?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to be on.
I reckon we should have
Yes, yeah.
even this podcast live streamed, or at least do a few live streams.
No, absolutely not. I cannot trust people to not say stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because there was one time I was listening to the guys streaming it live, and I just had it. I was on the phone call to somebody, onto Big Daddy actually, and I had it blaring through my car on the road up to Flinders, and I was letting everybody listen to it live, and they loved it.
Oh.
Terrible.
Oh, what are you listening to at the lights? Oh, that's great.
So you were the first ever live listener to an Awful Footy episode.
Yep.
Sure.
Yes, indeed.
Quite
Took it
funny.
all the way down to Flinders, to the edge of the earth.
And then you gave us the idea that you could live stream. And now we could move it forward into that realm. Maybe next season we'll look into it.
Well done, Stillo. Well done, mate.
Yeah. You've tapped to the edges of the earth.
We're not doing a live. We're not doing a live show. It's just not happening.
These tech guys, they bring so much tech stuff.
I really enjoyed it. It was a different dynamic. So yeah,
The pod's moved so far this year. We've gone to Queensland. We've been to Flinders.
But, hey,
grand final in the Brownlow. It's going to be crazy.
We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot do what you want to do. All right, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Tech guy number 5.
I'm the only actual tech guy. Fuck you.
You're tech guy number 5, bro.
We need like 7 tech guys to be able to do that.
Anyway, I want to move on to my answers because you guys don't even care about my answers. You didn't even ask
Oh,
me
you're gonna
about
give
my
answers.
So Nathan,
Didn't give a
who
fuck.
do you think will win the grand final?
Oh, you want to hear from me all of a sudden? Okay, all right. Well,
It's second best.
it wasn't even Brownlow, so you skipped the first 2 questions. Thanks, buddy. Like I thought you were a mate. Anyway,
Doing it on reverse.
Sydney, I think, will win the flag.
Yep.
And who do you want to win the?
No, I don't need you to ask me my own questions, mate. All right, I got this.
Ask yourself.
No, I want Geelong to win the flag because I'll be up there in the Goldie with Ryan Wills Fenno.
Okay, and then I'm going to do an anomaly. I'm going to put a question in the middle. So you want it to be a replay of the 22 grand final, do you?
I just want Geelong to win.
But you think Sydney are going to win?
I think Sydney will win.
So you're lining it up to be a replay of the 22 grand final.
If that's how it goes, yeah. I guess.
But you want Geelong to win, but you think Sydney are going to win, and that
Yes,
would
correct.
make for an awkward day if we're at Big Wheels' house. So, yeah.
Why would that make for an awkward day? I'd be going for Geelong.
Hey, people have been on grand final day. People have been known to not show up or leave at half time. So
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe. All right. Well, anyway.
I'm not going to show up. I mean, I'm meant to be staying there, but statistically, I'm meant to not show up. So,
All right, you're done. I think.
Hey, I'm meant to ask you the next question.
No.
Nathan, who do you think will win the Brownlow?
Fuck you. Patrick Cripps. Can't go past
Who do
him.
you want to win the Brownlow?
Fucking Clayton Oliver.
Oh, that's smoky.
What about Max Gawn? What about Gawney?
No, I want Oliver to get his groove back. I want him to go back to his previous form. All right.
Can I just make a quick Barney? I have one Barney with the AFL this year, and it doesn't include anything to do with rule changes.
Reeby's Barney of the week. All right, come on.
It includes Max Gawn being in the All-Australian team. I mean, I'm like, you know what? He had a good year, don't get me wrong, and he was solid. And I mentioned him for a solid period of the year there. I said every week. But then Melbourne demised hard, and he got injured and missed a little portion of the year there. And I felt like the demise in his game also might have been enough for him to maybe just miss the team this year. But he made it on good merit. But there was that many ruckmen. I mean, even the Saints bloke Marshall himself. I mean, if he didn't have a better year than Gawn in the end, I mean, it's just but merit of work, and I get it. But it gave me the jeebies for a minute because I looked at how Gawn's year ended up, and it was in shambles. And Marshall was just going from strength to strength. And you feel stiff for young Marshall missing out on the squad there.
And our mate Sherry.
And Sherry as well. I mean, a few, but 7-timer, and I get how the body of work does hold up a little bit in criteria. So it was a very tough one for the judges because they knew that Max Gawn's season just went down like rapids at the end there. But it's very interesting. So you'd want to have a very big year next year, or that spot. I don't know if you'll get number 8.
Yeah, it happens a bit, man. I recall some other players getting in the AA side where you really don't think they would. Like, I remember one year, probably a couple of years before Buddy kicked his fouls and he made the All-Australian, so I'm like, because it's like, he actually did not have a great year and he made All-Australian, and they're like, it's going to be his number 8, and you sort of think, did they just do that to let him get 8? Like, so he's the same as Danger and Ablett, I'm like, he was not the best centre forward of the game that year. No way.
Because they know once you miss out, you don't usually get back in. It's sort of one of those things.
Yeah,
but,
there's definitely a bit of bias in the selections, I reckon.
It's an interesting little category, the All-Australian, but it's so that was my one gripe this year. I feel like Maxi should have just missed.
And there's a couple of years I remember Nick Nui getting in. I'm like, no way he was the best ruckman. No way. So
Ruck's an interesting one, though, the way they toyed it with the 1 and 2 and 3 selection over the years. Some years it's 3, 2, 1, and they can sort of pick.
What about you, Steelo?
Oh, no, I reckon Gawn was grouse. I reckon Gawney played pretty damn well. At least every game that he played, his tap work's just so elite, and he's dominant against ruckmen that aren't up to scratch.
Yeah. Fuck you too.
He had some big
Thanks,
games.
Steelo. Fuck both of you too.
He had a good year.
Kicked the goal to win the game, maybe against Sydney or Collingwood.
But I'm just wondering, do they have an international rules? Are they going to play against Ireland
No.
this year?
They don't do shit.
That's been canned for a while.
That's been
I think with
been
Gawney,
going on.
Reeves, I think with Gawney too, I think you've always just got high expectations of how he plays game too, like...
Yeah, because he's a club legend and the captain. And he usually bags at least a goal a game and racks up a fair few possessions for a ruckman. So maybe he's fucking earned that spot. All right.
No, I back Maxi. He's immortal. He's going to go down as a club legend. He's the captain of the premiership, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
club legend
forever. And hats off to the man. I mean, he trains harder than half the blokes out there. He's a hard worker. Might be to his detriment an inch because he does look like he's getting a bit slower in the tooth, just slightly as it wears on, and the gap's gonna catch up with him real quick. Probably rather than some blokes that can keep getting away with it for a while, where he's not going to keep up at that level. So he's just really one to watch going forward.
Might be time for a rebuild for D's. We need a rebuild.
No, but
And Ruckman.
Yeah, no. So yeah, big mention of Maxi, but
Brody, come back.
Another Ruckman.
it was
Yeah.
long in the sand.
We'll pay.
I agree though as well. He might not get it next year. So many young.
Well, to take a big year from him.
Get more money.
That was weird.
We had a little bit of a hiccup.
Yep.
Are we back?
We're back. You're back. Yes.
Must have been Paddy listening from overseas, just like glitching it.
Yeah, that's how that works.
He's probably in Edinburgh right now, just listening in. I'm sure
Sorry.
when he gets there, he needs something to do.
Did you say you were a tech guy? Because all that was wrong. But that's all
No,
right.
just a shout out to
Shout
Junior
out,
Red.
shout out to Paddy. Come on the show once, buddy. We want to see you.
When you're overseas, you get a shout out. But when you're in town, you don't.
I don't know about that one. But anyway, shout out to Paddy. Alright, well, let's move into this week's game, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes,
Bit of excitement, guys. Come on.
let's go. Let's go.
Mate, always ready for the soup, man.
Mate, it feels like it was almost a week ago now, you know?
Hey, it wasn't that long ago. Because we didn't have any footy Sunday. It threw me for a loop. Alright, Thursday night football at Adelaide Oval. It was Port Adelaide versus Geelong. Port Adelaide 7-12-54. Geelong 2018 138. Geelong by a whopping 84 points.
What?
Steelo, what do you think? No, Ryan, what do you think of this one?
I don't know about Stilo, but I'm still celebrating more.
Oh, mate, what a win.
Congratulations.
I've been going for nearly a week.
Wowee.
Wowee, unbelievable.
Lovely stuff. Good job.
For a prelim. How have they done it? Can't
Mate,
believe-
just another prelim. Just counting the prelims. But what an unbelievable win, to be honest. I feel like that just came from nowhere. During the day, I was a bit down. I heard Tom Stewart wasn't going to be playing as well. I'm like, you're kidding me, mate. This is going to be a flogging.
Yeah.
The Cat's going to get flogged.
Mhm.
And, knowing that, SDK wasn't going to play too. But, oh, mate, I was just down all day just thinking, shit, there's no chance we can win this. This is just going to be an absolute shocker. But, wow. We all know the result, and what a win, bloody hell! And
What a win.
the Cats looked hot pretty early. Like the scores were close, but they actually missed quite a lot of opportunities with behinds there. So it was a bit like, oh, we're on, but are we on? Jezza off the mark. Jezza kicked one of the goals of the years, even though they don't bloody do goal or marks of the years in finals, which is ridiculous.
No.
But it's ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous. And
The first
They should do-
goal of the game as well, wasn't it?
pardon?
The first goal of the game as well, he's kicked.
Couple in, yeah. So unbelievable. So the boys were hot early. You could just tell the ball. The ball was bouncing the right way. They were flicking it around, and wherever they flicked it around, there's a Cats player. So you could just tell it was on. But half time, I think it was pretty much even, wasn't it? If you look at the scores there, Nathan.
Yeah,
And,
not half time, quarter time. Half time, you guys kicked away a bit.
Kicked away, yeah. I think I recall Port actually getting the lead by about 9 points during that second quarter, was it?
Yeah, they got up a little bit.
Of the second
And then, and then bang, 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 bang. It was all like 07 grand final all over again, Reeby. Unbelievable.
All over for them. They didn't know what was hitting them.
Mate. Couldn't believe, even at the start of the game, mate, Port Adelaide had, JF, Horn Francis on the bench. Started on the bench. What's that all about? And
What is that about?
one of their superstars, and definitely all changed too once good old Zachy Butters went off as a sub, mate. He's, all week they were complaining about his eye wasn't good, and then it's come out he's got ribs too. So, yeah, it'd be interesting if he plays this week or not. But yeah, once he went off, mate, it was just all over Red Rover. And I was actually thinking during the game, do you know who Port's missing? Do you know who Port's missing, Nathan?
Bell Pepper.
Yeah, one of the pod favourites. I'm like, they need him out there. They need him out there. Imagine he was sniffing around everywhere,
Well, he's a big player. He's a big part of their team.
Oh,
Mate, Cats
mate, they had no pressure up forward. They were just shot.
Yeah,
Bell,
that was.
bell peppers are way too expensive at the moment, mate. It's a cost of living crisis. Can't get a cut.
Absolutely, but just a shout out, mate, to all the young caddies out there. You know, Holmes, Humphrey, Dempsey. Like it's so many young boys are just stepping up for this final. I think it's recorded 9 different players in our side compared to the 22 grand final too. So like almost half the side's been turned around.
Yeah. 9.
And and old legs Dangerfield was just the big body in there, mate. The big ball. He was just outstanding all night. But just a great performance, mate. And I just feel like Port just did a lot wrong with. I know Farrell and Houston was out in the back line too, but our small forwards, mate, they were everywhere. Good old Stengel, Nathan, kicking goals. Like it's just, to be honest, it was just a perfect night of footy. And
It was
well
entertaining.
done to the caddies.
It's good to
unbelievable win.
Yeah, it's good to see a team just flex on another team sometimes. I think,
mate,
in the finals as well.
It definitely made going into work on the Friday a lot easier, mate. Trust me, that was my main concern. But so what about you, Steelo? Did you get much on in the game, mate?
Yeah, well, it was just as I suspected, and just as I talked about last week, that Port Adelaide just didn't have the width. They just couldn't withstand it. They don't have the experience. They didn't have what it takes. They didn't have the grunt to get it done. All they had was their midfield, and they just sort of struggle at both ends. And even then, they're sort of hit and miss, even with their stars in the midfield at times.
Yeah.
So, they don't really have the polish as well. So they're just lacking quite a bit. When you look at the big picture, I think they're going to take a couple of years to really get to challenging for the big glory. But they've put in a good performance. So there's lots of positive support. But just for mine, probably just got to build around what you've got there, and no problems at all.
No, exactly. Raby, any input?
Oh, look, it was just quite bittersweet seeing Charlie Dixon potentially finish up his career there. I mean, you never know, he might rattle around, but you feel like if he rattles around, it's really just going to be dead wood that they're carting around with him. And it was sort of the irony of the night, wasn't it? I mean, it was just, Port just looked a little bit too slow and just a couple of superstars behind in a way. And even though they've got him out there with guys like Butters and, I
reckon Rosie's injured too.
All these guys were there. Sorry?
I reckon Rosie's injured.
They're just not playing like they were at the start of the year, where they're like obviously bouncing off the walls. But, they just probably rely on a few too short. And their forward line definitely also a bit undermanned. And so, maybe they're just a little bit reliant on a few too many at Port, where I feel like even Geelong, like you're saying, bringing 9 guys in since the premiership, it doesn't matter who's in. They just play the team game and the structure. It's the Geelong way, or you're not in. And they're training that through the VFL, and it's just such a great system. And it's no surprise to see Sydney and Geelong in the prelims. I mean, these clubs, Collingwood aren't far off the mark. I feel like they're in that same echelon where they can, next year with a gap year this year, they're probably going to be right back up there, and they'll be bringing in a lot of youngsters again. And it's really the mould, isn't it? You really.
Even with Shannon Neal, he's basically, I reckon he's taken over Hawkins' spot, man, for sure. Like,
well, the youngsters
only kicked 1 goal, 1 in the VFL, and I reckon Neal's just going to take his spot. That's it.
And that's what a good upgrade when you could have Hawkins, but yet you got this guy who's taken those marks, running back towards goal. I mean, his running capacity is probably double Hawkins at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely,
playing the same sort of role, which just means he's getting onto that much footy. I mean, what, he kicked 4 on the weekend?
Oh, can't remember.
3, at least 3 or 4.
3.
But just his run. I mean, he plays almost to a Nick Rewalt style of game. He's a real good player, that young kid.
4.
2 goals, 2.
No, 2 goals, 2.
Yeah, because I just noted him during.
Neil.
Didn't know a lot about him, I must admit. I haven't been following Geelong overly closely over this year. So it's such a quick turnaround with players. And he's just popped up on me, the young fella, and I was very impressed.
Unbelievable.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
Maxi Holmes, he had the disappointment of not making the 22 side for the grand final. Probably just missed on the All Australian again this year too. It was pretty close, I reckon. But what a night for him, mate. He 22 touches and just ran hard all night and just great future for that guy too, mate. He's just been outstanding.
A-grader. And he'd be learning so much off training with guys like Jeremy Cameron and Paddy Dangerfield. So these are the guys that are coming up, and it's just such a bright future for Geelong.
Absolutely.
2 years after what was meant to be the end of an era.
They're meant to be too old. They're meant to be too old. They're meant to have fallen off.
Meant to be too slow. They're meant to be too old.
That's it. Well, look, it was a very good night for the Geelong Football Club. Well earned. And I don't know, will we see Port go out? Will they pull a Melbourne? Go out straight sets? They could.
Find out during our tipping.
They might. Them and GWS might do that, so yeah. Anyway,
shout out.
Let's...
Just a quick shout out as well.
Make it very quick, alright?
To Bose. Just another one of your young superstar forwards that just can sort of play any role there. And obviously you've got guys like Tanner Bruin as well, but Bose just getting it done, and getting a couple of goals. And it's just a let job. I'm genuinely on the train, and you just keep not tipping them, and I'll keep tipping them.
Mate,
it's working.
I didn't tip them again. Why would I?
No.
All right, can I move on now? All right,
can I just say one shout out to Nathan?
This guy.
This guy was a mature age recruit too. Sean Manor, mate. What a pickup he's been too. This bloke kicked a bag in the VFL Granny last year, and now he's in the Geelong side, and he's just kicked 3 in the semi. So what a great pickup he's been. Probably, and Gary Rowan's fractured his skull, so he's probably taking Gary Rowan's spot now too.
All right, because you interrupted me, I don't want Geelong to win anymore. Fuck them. All right, let's move on to the next game.
And sucked in running.
No, shut up! Friday night football at the MCG. It was the Doggies versus Hawthorn. Western Bulldogs 9-8-62 to Hawthorn 14-15 99. It was Hawthorn by 37 points. Daniel.
Oh, mate, we were so excited. We were just... Mum couldn't contain herself. I mean, terrible. She was just spilling her red wine all over the lounge room, singing the song.
As you do.
Mate. Just what a family club, I mean, we just, over the years, the places this club takes you to, you never get let down, even through the down times. You know that the up is not far away, and they've already overtaken the likes of St Kilda and Essendon and Melbourne and Fremantle in their reboot. And it's just been a real interesting time to be a Hawks supporter the last couple of weeks. And
you're a Saints supporter.
No, just this last couple of weeks, as in just following them for a few weeks.
It becomes Hawks when it's finals times, Nathan.
And Saints. So my rule of thumb, Nathan, is when Saints are done, if Hawks are still alive, I go for Hawks. I've always had the rule.
Yeah, I don't like it.
At the moment, I'm just a rusted-on, 2-week, passionate, been there for the last, really just riding the train, And, I think we can go all the way. But, Sydney are the big hurdle for us. I mean, even on the weekend against the Doggies, I felt like once we got our running game going, it was just goodbye. Toodaloo. See you later, dogs. I mean, they were too tall, too slow. We put a sense of nerve up them where they just couldn't play their game all night, and we just got our run on. We didn't even do anything fancy. We just hit targets. We just played real simple footy. And, Jai Newcomb, if you can give one man a big shout-out on the night. Obviously...
Give him a Steve Irwin, don't be stingy.
No, I mean, there was plenty, but I mean,
give him a Steve Irwin, don't be stingy.
Well, I'm not being too stingy. I'm just giving one man a big shout-out. But, I'll give him a big shout-out then. I'll give him a huge shout-out.
Alright, well, Steve Irwin Award's got to be going to someone this week.
Oh, I'm saving that. Just so to the whole unit and to Sammy Mitchell. I mean, a few of my favourites, all Sicily, obviously, and other young fellows' names just escaping me for 2 seconds off the top of my head. He's also a bit of a family friend out there. There's a bit of a connection there to the Reebies with the young tall fella playing in defence. Look, I'm just rattled.
Friend of the show, some guy.
Yeah, sounds like a real good connection.
Great connection, bro. Don't even know his name.
Can I have his autograph?
I'll get it for you in a few weeks. Maybe not now. But yeah, so it's a good samosa on the game. But I just
Great
like I said,
samosa.
I actually went in thinking doggies were going to do this one by about 5 goals. I really did, and then it took one quarter, and I just knew the Hawks were going to win. It really was an emotional night.
Sounds.
But once Deer got started and the Wizard, mate, the Dogs just couldn't stop him.
How good's Kelsha playing? I mean, the young kid's on fire, and Lloyd Meek. I mean, if I can give one ruckman the big shout out of the bloody round, but also for the season.
All his shout outs. Yep.
He's carried Hawthorn a long way this year, Lloyd. I mean, he's just playing absolutely incredible footy. And D'Ambrosio, also another one, very stiff on the All-Australian this year.
Yep.
Just showed on the weekend why he's a quality footballer, and his effectiveness on the night was just pure. And Scrimshaw, there's the young fella I was looking for.
They're all
Young
stepping up.
His mother has a very close relation to the Reedies, and
That's
we know
his mate.
Jake and his mother Anne really well, and so just really happy for the people, because Anne was really happy for her son to go to Hawthorn many years ago, and she thinks it's a great club, and now to see where they're at, having met them personally and know them quite well.
You must be proud to be a supporter.
Man, it's why I'm just, I can't stop rattling off the people that I'm involved. I mean, Jeffrey Kennett, great connection with people. Samuel Mitchell. I mean, just fantastic people of the community. And
Disagree. All right, Steelo, do you have any thoughts about this game?
Oh, no, just the Hawks going so well. I think I predicted this early in the year. I gave the hot tip, actually, very early on in the podcast, that Sam Mitchell was confident.
Do you reckon Rick would still be listening now? Or?
No, he's turned off as soon as he saw you in the Hawthorn scarf. He turned off.
It was hard to believe, though. I remember hearing the hot tip myself from a good friend, a good source, a very good source close to Sam, and I still didn't believe it. But then look at them now; it's been categoric,
Unbelievable.
Categoric.
So in it, I mean, from to go down like that to a team that last year finished, they're 0-5.
Oh, it's sad.
So
It is sad.
is it the Doggies or is it the Hawks?
Well, I think saw that the actual Doggies haven't even won a final since 2001, since they lost to Granny.
Yeah, Daniel, explain that.
It was a bit of
They haven't won a final since losing the grand final. It's a pretty big thing.
Explain that.
Look, it's interesting times for Bevo. I mean, I heard
Okay.
Bucks give a good samosas on the coaching degrees at the moment, where he goes, Beveridge is into his last year of his contract next year, and they go, that's dangerous territory, because into your last year of your contract doesn't give you any safe ground, and then especially now fading out this year. Where do they lean to? Do they go with him again for a 3 to 5 year contract? Do they trust him? Or do they look to someone new? But where would they go? But at the moment, it feels like after a lot of years since success, it's been, 8 years now, coming up to the 9th year since the premiership, that, it's a real... So no one wants to have that 1 year hanging over their head. And 3 coaches, only a few coaches in recent time have succeeded that 1 year... been on that 1 year. Nathan Buckley was one of them, where he did the last year with 1 year, and look where it ended up with him. They terminated him because it was too hard to commit to another tenure with no certainty. So right now, Luke Beveridge is entering that 1 year window, and it's a really interesting watch, that space, because of that in Zach point. But it's a really tough time to be a coach in it when you maybe got 18 months left in a contract, and you're really banking on that year being successful, or that last year might stand for nothing, and at the moment contracts aren't standing for as much as they were. So it's Bevo, watch the space just a touch. There's a lot of phone calls that could be coming in. West Coast still haven't filled in the job, but so it's a very interesting week or two. Coach Watch could go bang, 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 bang in the next week or two.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They'll be moving and shaking, that's for sure. All right, Ryan, do you have any comments on this game?
Oh, actually, I do have some notes, mate. I just don't know how long we got tonight, but
Fire out, just important ones. Come on.
just first up, mate, I had Deer and Wizard on my notes for just unbelievable game. Just noticed that start of the game was pretty windy conditions, and the Dogs held up pretty right with that. Dust kicked a great goal out of the ruck. But then, they actually slowed the Hawks down because of the Dogs' pressure. But then basically after half-time, it all sort of changed, didn't it? So the premiership quarter came out for the Hawkers, and they got on top. But I noticed during the game that Bevo, we speak about Bevo's coaching, but man, he had the Bont and Pelly, the Bond up forward a lot during the game. Like, what was with that? It was crucial stages of the game. Put the superstar in the midfield. Like, come on, Bevo. That was a shocking call. But yeah, just well done. And then McRae was a sub, and then he's come in, did a bit of impact, and now he's telling the club he wants out too. So it's all happening. And
him and Bailey Smith.
Apparently, it links to St Kilda with McRae.
Why would he want to go there?
You knew it was all party times, mate, when Ginnivan kicked his goal and did the old Jeremy Cameron beer celebration. There's a bit of media about him all week, and he's come out and gone, I'm getting pissed off you guys. So
I'm liking Ginnivan every week more and more. I really am.
And tough one for the Doggies. So bad luck, Rico. Better luck next year, mate.
Yeah, look, my heart goes out to Rick, of course, and I just want to say, Hawthorn, that third quarter actually wasn't as good as you think. 4 goals, 8 in that third quarter. 5 goals, 2 in the second. So, technically, did better.
They just started
in the third quarter, but only because of all the behinds. No, they kicked the same amount of points, but yeah.
Yeah, but they kept Doggies to 1 goal too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that was the main ticker. So 5 goals, 32 points to 7.
They kept it the 1 goal 1 in the third quarter and 1 goal 3 in the second quarter. So it was very similar, very similar. But yeah, anyway, heart goes out to Rick.
Like this Doggy side, mate, they're meant to have the best list going around, and they're just not doing it. So.
I think they do have the best list going around. I think Bevo's the problem.
I've always said that backline's no good.
Yeah.
I think Jai's the best footballer in the team there. So well played, Jai.
Anyway, shout out to
though. Like it's always sad to see teams finish up, but what a game! What a first couple of games of the final series, hey.
One of them had to bow out, and you felt like even if the Hawks went out, you'd still feel like, oh, bad luck, Hawks, and it is the same with the Dogs. Like, you do feel bad for them bowing out, and even if they had have won, you feel like they'd go on this week to play pretty well. So, there's a few teams this year that could have, like Collingwood could have rattled into the 8 there, and they would have been bloody hard to play. And
would they?
No, they didn't. I just mean as in the Dogs. Yeah, they had one off week, but they could still play off in another final and play very well. So I still think
we'll never know. We'll never know now. Yeah.
Within the walls of the Doggies, they'd be keeping their aspirations pretty high. I think they just had a bad night. You know what I mean? I wouldn't see them riding too much into it. They've played that much good footy this year. They beat the Giants the week before.
They've been up and down.
So, the form in this comp is pretty hard to ride off on 1 week. But, it just hurts. That's probably the kicker. But
absolutely. All that, it hurts.
Just a quick one. As an ex-backman myself, I generally look at the backmans, and old skipper Sizzlick, mate, he dominated down back, mate. He was marking everything, then just set up the Hawks downfield, mate. What a great game.
All right, cool. All right, everybody done. Steelo, anything to add?
No, mate.
All right, let's move on.
Steelo just wants the Lions Blues game to hurry.
Let's move on. It was Saturday football at the SCG, Sydney versus GWS. Sydney 13-10-88, GWS 12-10-82. Sydney by 6 points. Wheels, finally a close game for the round.
Oh, I didn't see it. Who won?
Sydney by 6 points. You saw it. Battle for the bridge.
Wow. Good old showdown battle, hey. Awesome. What a game! This was a great game. They reckon one of the top finals at the SCG. We've had a few classics. We've had the Nick Davis 05. We've had the Plugger 96. We've had the Pies just losing in 23. Like, it was just this up there with that sort of game, wasn't it, Raby?
Really was.
And,
Especially tend to be down and then get up and win as well.
Oh, mate. What was it? What was it, 21
Such a good
points or
comeback.
something?
There was 21 points at halftime and 21 points at three-quarter time. And it didn't look like they were going to get over the top, did it? I mean, Giants were holding firm. It was halfway through the last quarter there when it was still about 16 points.
And that's when they finally hit the
move. It took them a while. I remember looking at the clock and they got a goal and then they still had about 8 minutes and you thought, right, it was now or never. And then they obviously got another one and then they got the 2 in the last few minutes. But so they
the Marty Party came out right when it counts as well, didn't he, Nathan?
Marty Party.
He did. I wasn't a fan. I wanted GWS to win, to tell you the truth.
There was little spitfires going on everywhere too, weren't they all fighting and little scuffs and everything too? It definitely had some feel about it, that game. And
they were getting
like you
shirty.
said, Reeves, Sydney just came out in that last quarter, mate. I think everyone's pretty much talking about that last quarter, aren't they? So you had Warner with 7 clearances during that last corner. Heaney, absolute freak, great mark, great goal, just everywhere, won him the game. And even what's his name, the sub, Brandon Campbell, came on. He's heard that his pop died during the week, and he's come out straight away with some impact, kicked a goal, and just great time with the sub for him too, mate. So they just timed it all well, and what an absolute win. And the inclusion with Papley back in the side, what a difference up forward. He was everywhere sniffing around, and just by the end it just looked like Sydney's day, didn't it?
Oh, he's really elite, Papley. I mean, he's the top of the charts in here as a small forward at the moment. He just gets it done consistently. And what did he end up kicking 4?
Oh, what was it?
3.
What
2.
did he kick?
2. He kicked 2
goals.
Oh, he got 2, all right. Yeah, but he might have set up 4. Maybe I heard he got 4 involvements.
Oh, yeah, he set up heaps. Yeah, he set up heaps.
He might have set up more. I mean, he's everywhere. And
More than heaps?
He got the
I think he kicked 2 and set up 4.
Yeah, but because he did the tap to Heaney, didn't he, in that last play? And it's just his footy sense. I mean, I remember him having a shot for goal after the siren on three-quarter time, and he missed it. It was from about 50 metres out, and he could just see he was really upset with himself. He 2 goals, 4 assists there.
Yeah,
but he was really dirty on himself, but he could see he was still positive. You know, he knew it was three-quarter time. It's all good. You know, and from that miss, I reckon it probably his last quarter was just immaculate. You know, he only got a handful of touches, but he was just pure, and he has that sense to win, and he doesn't lose a one-on-one contest. So you know you can put the ball near him in a one-on-one contest, and you know he's a bloody good chance of winning the ball and putting it to advantage. So, yeah, I mean, that's what makes him look hard to beat, doesn't it?
Yeah. And hey, look, Heaney, Jesus, if he didn't get rubbed out, he would be favourites for the Brownlow for sure.
Yeah,
he's just a gun, like bagging 3 goals as well on top of his normal stellar performances.
That game was you don't beat that game almost.
Yeah. I mean, legend. That's how people become legends, mate. That sort of footy.
Yeah. Was it 10 coaches' votes?
Yeah, he got him. I got him here. Hold on.
He should have. He's like a key player in pressure moments in games. He will pull through. Safe hands, everything.
On the back of that game, he gets a gold statue as his award.
Gold statue. There you go. That's what you should get.
Well, bronze. It looks gold, but it's bronze.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
No, we need to see the votes.
No, we don't. Not like that.
Josh Kelly got 3.
I'll be there with a hot dog in hand.
It's like it's shining. You can barely read it because it's shining. Stop doing that.
Raby's already got the 10.
No, I was interested to know who got the votes. That was good.
Yeah,
thanks.
Google it. You got your own phone.
But yeah, it's just hard to watch. Like another player that's not at the Lions just play that well. Like you just can't deny it. You know, he's just a freak.
Yeah, he is.
better.
not hard to watch,
Pretty
just
much-
because he doesn't play for you.
He's just better than like every other. I feel like he's almost better than all the Lions players.
Yeah, but if you're saying he's that good, then it's clearly not hard to watch just because he's not.
Better than Lockie Neal.
Don't tell him not to be hard when he watches.
It's
me.
a tough player to Lockie.
No, but he's saying it with a weird.
The
Like,
talent is
he
like
said-
he's more talented than Lockie, but Lockie is like maybe arguably a better
He's got to
player.
be. Yeah, he's got more spark.
Yeah, Lockie's able to apply himself throughout the game under pressure, like all the time, like receiving a close tag. But Heaney can just step up and just his talent. Is just really, he just does these remarkable things.
Yeah, he's a star. There's a reason why he's in the ad taking the mark over Petrarca.
Like
So-
I've always like thought Lockie Neal's a good player, like great player, but I've always thought he's been a bit boring. Like really, like he
He's
just
like a
does his
robot.
job, but he doesn't do all this excitement shit, you know?
He is a robot, Lockie Neal. He's very up and down,
Yeah.
handball out. Yeah, where Heaney has a major X factor if you're going to go all the way.
Yeah.
More like a Jezza Cameron, though. You could even go a further hog. And it's interesting that someone like Jezza doesn't get in Brownlow calculations much, because he's such a unit who works up and down the ground,
Yeah.
but yet he doesn't seem to attract the votes from the umpires. It's weird.
Well, it's a midfielder's award too.
No, but because he gets around there enough and he kicks the goals and he
He's
don't.
such a good player.
But he's probably one of the few that I look at to go, you know, if you couldn't almost get him into the votes most weeks,
If Jez is not winning a Brownlow or not even getting close, then we probably got to revisit the system.
almost, yeah, it's sort of a weird one because he's that player, isn't he? Where he's you couldn't beat him into any position you play. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe we'll see if Tom Stewart goes in and wins a Brownlow in the next few years. And then we'll know it's really a midfielder's award.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, that's it. That's it. We're done. That's it. We're done. That's it. We're done. That's it. That's it. We're done. We're moving on to the next game. Brisbane versus Carlton at the Gabba. Brisbane 14-15, 99 to Carlton 11-5, 71. Brisbane by 28 points. Steelo.
Off that, Carlton. Nah, go the Lions. I don't mean it against you personally, Carlton, but
No, fuck Carlton.
we've done it again. Though we came out with a bang. We came out with the intensity that we need to, just proving a point. We want to be there. We want to be there in the granny. We want to take it that step further. We're hungry. Beware the hungry lion.
Hungry. That's right.
The hungry lion.
Redemption, mate, redemption.
Ironically, Ben Eden, this hungry lion.
Oh, there's Simba.
Oh. Yeah, no, and far out. That first quarter,
What a
Came
first
out.
quarter.
put 60 points on them. And yeah,
Straight off the gap. No, 30 points.
And like
First half, Steelo, first half.
Yeah, no, kept them to 0. It was just ridiculous, you know. Like it was all round pressure, but also Carlton. They sort of got jumped. I could tell they were a bit shaky.
Yeah, they
were a bit
didn't really
nervous.
turn up for that first bit.
From the first bounce, you could tell they were a bit nervous, and then we got that momentum swing, which we have done on a couple of teams. We've got the bounce on them early, but we just haven't followed through past about 5 goals. Whereas this time we're able to push it to about 9. We got to 9 goals in the end, I think, was the lead, right? And then yeah, they came back, which was a bit hard to watch, but all in all, when you think about it, that's how you want to play finals footy, and you don't want to leave anything on the line. You want to come out and just give it all you've got, and then just, you know, from there, you know, you sort of do have to hold on.
Gotta say, McCluggage, what a game he played.
Oh man, and all the players, Clugger,
He was so good.
showing a bit of a veteran now,
awesome, mate.
He's got some experience.
Rayner.
Yeah, Rayner was on fire. Yep.
Quarter, first half. Yeah, man. Like even Logan Morris, stepped up and he played really strong and was looking after his teammates as well, which you like to see from a first year player. He was standing up for some of his teammates and just proving that he's meant to be there. He's all rounder.
That's it.
Is the accuracy still an issue? Could be the accuracy still be a bit of a drama going into next week's game, Steelo?
Yeah, well, that's it. If we kick straight, I mean, if we kick straight for all our scores, we would have kicked just short of 200 points. So, yeah, no, it would have been nice to see.
Would have been better.
Yeah.
Would have been more exciting. We did watch the game together, Steelo. It was great.
We're
Got a
very
little,
close, you know, we
had a
get all
little
those scoring opportunities, but yeah, we missed a lot of easy ones as well. So there's definitely lots of room to improve.
Oh, but there was so much to celebrate on the night. My God, all those goals. It was raining. It was raining.
Yeah, but in the last 6 weeks or so, they've been missing a lot of goals for all the games. Like,
Yeah, well, teams miss goals all the time. You know,
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for a team to kick like 20 behinds every now and then.
do you reckon Payne will be all right, Steelo?
No, he's been running around the track in a brace, a full leg brace.
I don't think he's playing this next week.
And it's like, I don't think you'd be picking him if you saw that at training. It's kind of hard to, we've got other options. We've had Dara Joyce filling in his position for the last 6 or so weeks.
Yeah.
And he's come back. You don't really want to be picking someone you just can't rely on.
Well, to be fair, Steve Austin wrestled for months with that leg brace on. So,
True.
you know.
He
Don't
was,
count him
he was allowed to drink as well during his fight.
He was allowed to drink during his fights. Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that acting, though?
No.
Just on the lines though as well, like Kai Lohman just stepping up again.
Yeah, he was all over it.
Big game this time and 2 goals.
How'd you find that? Sorry,
he's not
Steelo.
just- Yeah, well, he's a permanent X factor now. He'll be locked in for next year. We definitely, as long as he obviously gets the training, doesn't just spend all summer surfing. No, he'll be locked in.
Yeah.
How'd you find Ashcroft's first final, mate? Obviously, he had the upset story last year and played his first final. How'd you find that, mate?
Oh, 20
Yeah.
touches.
No, that was grouse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was pretty solid. It was pretty sturdy. He's, there was a lot of hype surrounding him when he came in, and it's all talk really. If you look at him, what he's done, he's been pretty consistent with how he plays, and he's adding a bit of a cool head, a bit of a level head to the team in a way, and he just needs to, as he gets more experience, just slow down his disposal a little bit, because when he does that, he looks the goods, but sometimes he can just rush it a tiny bit, and that's the only thing. That'll just come with a couple of years under his belt for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right, man.
100%. All right, well, just want to point out before I move on, I got a multi that night. Haha, yes. Hit the multi for the boys.
Well done, mate. Well done. Welcome.
Second-
Steelo, were you
Second win of the year.
Sorry, Steelo, were you a bit concerned at the second half of the game, mate? Like, it looked like they were slowly winding back, De Koning was the sub for the Blues, and it pretty much changed from there, and they wound themselves back, mate. How were you finding that?
He was confident.
Didn't it change instantly?
Yeah, mate, instant.
Instantly.
No.
yeah,
Steeler was
yeah.
confident. You were confident, Steeler. I was around you. I saw you. You were like, no, Busy's going to win.
Yeah, you reckon?
I was still going to win, but it just...
You were like, oh, I wish we'd kick away and score more goals, but, I'm not worried. But we're never worried. Come on.
That was one of the worst coaching moves of the year, the Koning starting in the sub. That just... if you're going to play the fella, his intensity around the ball,
I got very worried.
they were a different side the moment he came onto the ground. They actually won the game from that point forward. So
Scoreless, a quarter and a half in.
Speaking about
Scoreless.
coaching, Reeby, what did you think about the ins and outs for the game, mate, for the Blues? Like with the Doctor and Sincotta not playing as a tag, did they go in a bit injured or not quite right balance? What do you reckon, mate?
wasn't a fan of it all.
No.
I just think they went in with too many blokes with question marks, and I just think in a final, like we were saying about the Geelongs and the Sydneys at the moment, if you're not 100%, you're nowhere near the squad. You're out of the way. You're back in getting recuperation and getting you right back to 100%, so that you can have a team full of people going 100%. As soon as you're carrying even 1 to 3 players, I just think it's too many in this level of competition. And Carlton were caught carrying, up to 4 blokes that they were really trying to manage, and maybe wouldn't, in an ideal world, you wouldn't be giving them more than 70% game time. And, even with Doherty himself, hats off to the man. And if I can just give a Steve Irwin.
Here it is.
There it is.
186 days since he did his knee on the same ground against the same opposition, and even just the mental demons to come back. I mean, imagine he did the knee again. You know, imagine he did it again. You know, there goes his probably career. So I was stoked for him to get through and play out the game, knowing now that he can have a pre-season, he can come back next year and know that he's probably going to be, you know, over 200 plus days into recovery now. You know, he's well over the hurdle. And but just for him to get through, and he kicked a goal, and I mean, I must admit, it was a small token of a night of a bit of a moment for the night where you just took your hat off and you stood and applauded the man, just for his effort and courageousness, I suppose. So there's a Steve Irwin of all Steve Irwins, I think, goes to the Duck.
Nah, not of all Steve Irwins. Don't go crazy.
It's one for you too, Nathan. You spoke about the Blues with the big banana peel, and I think it was about round 17 or 18. This team was sitting second on the ladder and lost. They lost 7 out of their last 9 games. Like, that is incredible.
And they beat West Coast and North Melbourne for their 2 wins.
That's funny. I feel so sorry for the Carlton supporters out there, but
yeah, me too.
hey, look, a lot of people got to lose. Everybody's got to lose. Only one team can win.
Why are we all smiling?
I mean, it's funny.
I don't think Steelo's smiling. I think Steelo's like, I have a good friend that goes for Carlton. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, Nathan, I'm going to fire a quick pop trivia
question. Was a good friend.
I got a pop trivia question for you. Can you get, like, in the camera frame properly, you schmuck?
I'm in it, mate. So, Carlton played in a grand final 30 years ago, coming up next year. Who did they play against in that grand final?
St Kilda.
No. Wheels is laughing. Look at him laugh.
I wish it was St Kilda.
Geelong.
It was Geelong.
Yeah. I got it right. I had my practice shot guess, and then I had my actual guess.
Okay. What was your actual guess?
Geelong.
Oh, yes. You would have been right with your actual guess.
Well, I am right. Yeah, thank you.
That's why I hate the Blues, mate.
Host is always right.
Well,
hey, it started you guys off on a good trajectory, because ever since they then got up to that point, they've been quite successful, and Geelong had gone through a long-standing unsuccessful period. And it hasn't the tables turned. I mean, you've entered one of the most successful eras of almost ever, and Carlton still haven't won a premiership that whole bloody time.
Since 2000, because we got they were in the 99 grand final, Northland Carlton. So since 2000 they've dropped, haven't they?
Wow, how the turntables. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Tipping results. Raby, you are the tipping comp results winner. Take a bow. Take a bow. Alright, cool. Alright, now, fuck that. Let's move into this week's games.
Ooh.
Yay! We excited? We excited for this week's games, boys?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm going to get the red eye back home after the game on Friday night, because I don't trust staying the night in Adelaide. But
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there, though, but I'm going to be looking over my shoulder the whole time.
Alright, well, let's start with the first game, shall we? It's Friday night football at Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide versus the Hawks. Mr. Daniel Raby, who do you have?
Oh, look, I mean, we're going to be over there full of confidence. You know, the boys, you know, we travel well, you know, and I don't see why we won't be there just full of confidence. I mean, all the guys and I fully believe that we have all the skills to get this done. And, yeah, I'm just totally anticipating at least a 6+ goal victory.
No, fair enough. Wheels, who do you have?
My theorem normally is when you've got the top 4 and 2 of those teams lose on the weekend, they start playing the bottom 4. So I feel that Port Adelaide's the second team on the ladder versus Hawks, whoever's 7th. Okay. And I reckon the Power will come back and actually beat the Hawkers. Sorry, Raby.
There we go. Steelo, who do you have?
That usually happen. You're right.
Steelo, who do you have?
Mate, it's just going to be sad if the Hawks lose. It's going to be hard to watch if they lose.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Everybody's going to be going for the Hawks. Port Adelaide, you know, time's up. They've lost. They've shown their weakness.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. I think at this point.
Yeah.
The momentum. They've just got so much momentum on their side. Hawthorn.
It'll be interesting to see if Ginnivan's tweet early in the week will have any motivation to Port Adelaide when he tweeted to Brodie Grundy, "See you in 14 days."
Oh.
Yes, it was very, very bold comment from.
It's a tongue-in-cheek sort of comment. Doesn't mean nothing.
Yes.
Just firstly too, I think Frost is a big out too for the Hawkers, mate. Too.
He's been playing so well back there, hasn't he? And he's one hole that they're going to have to fill. But they do have the marshals to fill the holes. I mean, obviously with Sicily, he's been getting three a lot, and he's able to maybe roll back into one or. So, I mean, they do have the marshals. It doesn't help because it's been keeping Sicily probably a lot freer. But, it'd be interesting to see which way they go, whether they bring in another...
Speaking about the marshals, do they bring Marshall in instead of Dixon?
Well, Dixon, it doesn't... it's the big... I mean, it didn't seem like they were going to play him again with... it's not Marshall coming... Is it Marshall coming back in?
Well, they don't know. We don't know yet.
But... Forward, or is it there's another? Is it Georgiades? No, Georgiades was already in.
Oh yeah.
But it might have been Lord or
Lord's in it.
Yeah, so there's a couple with Port. I mean, Dixon's the big watch in the end. You'd feel like Hawks would be licking their lips if he plays. I mean, he's really just playing to bring a few balls to ground and play 20 to 30% ruck, chop in. It just feels like a token player, but. Again, you don't want to say these things too casually because anyone who plays league footy, they can definitely make you eat your words. So I know Paddy is a big advocate for Charlie Dixon. He had him backed for 4 goals last week, and I almost choked on my dim sim I was eating as he mentioned it to me.
Well, Paddy was at the bottom of the tips, so who cares?
4 goals. He'd be lucky to get 4 touches. And Paddy did message me at halftime and say he had 1 touch at halftime.
Right.
But,
Ryan, question.
Just question. Who do you think's going to win, Nathan?
Oh, thank you. We're going to move on. Cool. All right. So, I think Port are going to win. I want Hawks to win, but I think Port are going to win. So, yeah. All right. Next game. Saturday night football at NG Stadium. Another interstate game. No footy in Melbourne this week for the boys. GWS versus Brisbane. Reeby, who do you have?
Well. In this game, I have it pinned as being a very tight one.
Very tight.
I have the Giants just ahead here, Steelo. I'm not saying this as any disrespect to the great man sitting next to me. I mean, I hope for Steelo's sake Brizzy get up. I really do.
He hates you, Steelo. Don't listen to him. He hates you. He's a bastard.
Giants to me look almost like one of the best teams in the comp. So that's all I'm basing that off. Brizzy... again, they're probably right up there with one of the best teams in the comp. It's not at their home ground. That's probably the 5%. Again, there's not a lot in it here. The top 4, maybe because I'm thinking Hawks are going to win, that I can't have both of the teams that didn't make the top 4. Maybe that's all it is. I don't know. I just feel like I've just landed with Giants on top. But again, I mean, Brizzy could win this well. So... I'm just going to stick with my gut on my tip and hope I get it wrong for Steelo's sake and hope I get it right for my sake.
No, fair enough. Ryan, how about you? Do you like Steelo?
I like Steelo, but I like getting tips too.
You both don't like Steelo. Mean.
Yeah, who do you want to play at the G next week?
I don't want to play Brizzy, Nathan, okay? So I'm tipping the Giants just because it's at their home, and I'm still going with the same theorem of a top 4 side loss that looks worse than it is, and they're a top 4 side. Brizzy aren't, and I reckon it's going to be all 4 teams in the top 4 make the prelim this year.
All right, Steelo, who you got?
Sorry, Steelo.
I'll be so sad if that happens.
The
Giants, man, they've got a little fucking. They hold a bad spot in my soul. I've got this little.
Give us a recent game.
Is it Giant?
Oh no!
Give us a historical game between the two.
Oh, because
is there a final?
Yeah, because about 5 years ago against the Giants, and I was up on Footy Trip actually.
What year?
I guess we're looking at 2019 now.
Okay, yeah.
And Lions had really just cemented our spot. Like we'd already had one final season under our belt, and this was the second year around. we're looking like, oh, this might be the year now. And the Giants just put us in our place. And no, that's just
Was that the
it's
prelim?
giving me a nightmare. Yeah, because then that was no, yeah, I think it was the prelim. And then just 1 month ago on this day, 1 month ago, they beat us up at the Gabba by about 20 points.
Oh, they did too. And you guys led, and then they came back and overtook you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played very
They
well
played
that
really
day.
well.
That's why.
That young Jones, he tore us up that day. So we just got to make sure we've got an answer for him.
I'm nervous for you guys.
But I'm going to drive up.
You're gonna drive up.
Drive up.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
It's gonna be awesome.
You're gonna busk out the front of the ground, take your guitar up, sit at the front of the ground with the guitar.
Yeah, you know,
You're going to get there with all 12,000 other people.
we got to spread the love.
Just camp at the front of the ground. It'd be beautiful.
And yeah, no, I'll be there. So giving it all we got, and
Go to Brizzy. I'll
There
be
we
rooting
go.
for you, mate.
Lovely.
I'll be rooting for you.
that's it.
Yeah, well, unlike these two fools, I am a good friend of Steelo's, so I am on the Brisbane friend train because I'm a good friend. These other two aren't.
Foolish.
Yeah.
You just want him to help you with Bruce.
You need to ditch them, Steel. You need to ditch these two.
Tips don't even
You just
count.
want you at your house Friday night for Bruce Rando.
Yes, all right. Well, yeah, no, I'm going to go for Brisbane.
Well done, mate.
So I'm
Well
going for
done.
Brisbane. There we go. All right, well, that's it for this week's games. Just two of them. No more Sunday football for the rest of the year. Sad
weird, didn't it?
times. Sad times. But yeah, well, I guess with all that, we'll move on to closing thoughts. Raves.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
what about the best bloody segment in the pod, mate?
Yeah.
We don't have a... You missed it.
Ladder prediction.
Ladder predictions
Don't worry
done.
about it.
All right, who you got? Who you got? You had no one last week. Who you got this week?
Yeah, because there was no footy on last week, mate.
That was Footy on last week. All right, come on.
I feel like next year, Doggies are going to finish on top of North Melbourne, who are going to finish on top of Freo,
Where's Jezza?
who are going to finish on top of Carlton,
Ah.
who are going to finish on top of the
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, is that Wheels of Fortune? Is that the Wheels of Fortune team? Because that's what we're doing now, Wheels of Fortune. So Jezza, Geelong are the Wheels of Fortune.
I'm just
Fair
showing
enough.
those stubby holders are empty, mate.
Yeah,
We didn't do it last week because the week prior there was a bye, mate. So I calculated this all when I did it, obviously.
Yeah.
And close your eyes, Steelo.
Oh, get
Oh, boo, boo.
I don't want to. Hey, I don't want to play you in the prelim, okay?
That's it. They're done. Brisbane Lions.
So, how many games left of the season, fellas?
What? There's 5.
5, and I've got. Is there 5 or 4?
5. No,
Yeah.
there's one game in the last week, so it's an odd number.
Yeah, and then I've got 4 Guernseys left, and the 4 teams are Giants, Port Adelaide, Cats, and the Swans. How's that going for ya?
And there you go. That's going for us.
As if you didn't pull Geelong out like 5 weeks ago.
No, but I'm shattered. I haven't pulled the I pulled the Hawks out early.
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, all right, let's move on to closing thoughts. Daniel.
All right. Well, I just want to let you all know that last night, Sri Lanka beat England in a test match in England. It was the 3rd time ever in their history that they beat England in a test match in England through almost close to 100 tests, like 92 tests or something in their history. And, yeah, they won. They actually got up and beat them. And England had a good lead too, because England made 330 in the first innings. Sri Lanka made 270 or something, so England led by about 60. But then England got skittled for 120 in their second innings in 34 overs, which was very dismal.
Very
Meaning Sri
dismal.
Lanka only needed 195 to win, or maybe 200.
That's all he
And
needed.
They got the runs 5 wickets down, so they had a 5-wicket victory. So
Oh,
the
they
Sri
got the
Lankans,
runs?
and it's onwards and upwards here for the Sri Lankans.
Oh,
I hope that's what you put your $20 on, Reeves.
I had them in the multi.
well, it's a shame they got the runs, but anyway, let's move on to the next closing
mate,
thoughts.
Bazball.
Ryan,
Death
no,
of
no,
Bazball.
no. Ryan, it's your closing thoughts. Go, go,
Hold on, what's Daniel saying? I couldn't hear him.
I said go Bazball.
go, baseball. All right, Ryan, closing thoughts.
I'm actually feeling a bit down, lately. Like you all know how much I like to watch my footy, and last week there was no footy. When the pod was on last, and
It's tough.
I got to watch the Cats the other day, and now I've got to wait another whole week to see the Cats again. Like, come on! Like, what's going on? I don't really like this. So that's my final thoughts. I only get to see the Cats twice playing the last month. I'm not too happy, guys.
Oh, boo hoo hoo! Cry me a river. Steelo, how about your closing thoughts?
White girl problem.
Nah, mate, you just gotta be there. You just gotta be there. So go support your club. If you're in the finals, give it everything you got.
At least you get to watch your club play this
If
week.
you're half thinking about, oh, do I make it or not? Just get there, mate. That's what it's all about. We need you there, right? Oh, come for the trip if you want to hit me up. Let's go for the trip up to see the Lions.
That's
you're
it.
driving-
I made just about 1,000 Ks.
Fuck yeah. What are you going to leave on? What day's the game? Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah. It leaves Saturday morning, I guess.
Leave Friday.
You know, mate, we'll supercharge it. Yeah,
Supercharge
get a sponsor so I can chuck a turbo in for the trip.
Well, I'm going to Mansfield on Thursday.
He's the man of steel, isn't he?
You can leap tall buildings in a single bound, I heard.
Fuck, imagine we drove up to the game and then I drive back to Mansfield.
I need the sponsor to get a turbo for the trip. Let's go.
We could drive my car. Oh. Because
Good,
Rick's already
good.
Mr. Parker's driving my car to Mansfield on Friday. And then we could jump in my car and drive my car from Mansfield to Canberra and then duck back to Mansfield.
Lovely.
Like a round trip.
Steelo, are you in like a whole Brisbane section, or you don't know?
Nah, I'm not too sure. It's a bit funny the way they do the tickets.
But you could get a
You just got to pray.
Yeah.
You just got to cross your fingers.
Get some photos, mate. Get some photos.
We'll report back next week how we go.
Mm.
Because I'm going to Mansfield, so I'm halfway to Canberra.
Well, enjoy. All right, my closing thoughts. Go check out Bruce Rando's stream on the weekend. He's gonna be doing some streaming up a storm. Go like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Rando, YouTube / Bruce Rando
/ Ginnivan.
No, Ginnivan's not in that / I'm sorry. Don't mislead the viewers, man. Jeez. All right, well, I think that'll do it from us at All for Footy, and we're out.